What's up? I'm Aaron. I'm going to talk about something today. Specifically, that something is Macallan Scotch Whisky.
Do you want to open it?
Specifically, that something today is Macallan Scotch Whisky and what sets it apart, what makes it so iconic. So here we go. Macallan is the third best-selling Scotch whiskey in the world, just behind Glenlivet and Glenfiddich. It is a very iconic brand. That's not just because of its marketing, although that is part. Now, Macallan is considered widely as the Rolls-Royce of single malt whiskeys. It also home to the world's most expensive bottle of Scotch per Guinness Book of World Records. And I saw that last November a bottle did sell for $1.5 million. You may have also seen Macallan featured in such movies as the Bond movies Skyfall and Spectre. So it's obvious that Macallan has put some serious money behind their brand, but that's not the only thing that makes it so iconic. They have a very huge fan base. There's two big reasons for that. A part of it is because it's aged in oak casks. Specifically, they are European oak, and they're seasoned with sherry, found in Spain. I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about the oak casks, because I think that's really important to who Macallan is. Macallan boasts that they're the only distillery with a quote-unquote master of wood, which seems to be a really important job because wood is so influential in the taste of whiskey. You know, wood is the source of all of the sugars and the tannins. It also oxidizes the whiskey and filters it, which is really just a distillate before it's put into the oak casks. Now, in the case of Macallan, you know, these oak casks are 500-liter sherry butt casks, and the casks are made of European oak. That's Quercus robur, and is sustainably sourced in the forest of northern Spain and then transported far south down to Jerez de la Frontera, where it's specifically brought to the Tavasa cooperage. Tavasa cooperage cuts their cask staves quarter sawn method, which allows for the best grain quality, and then the pieces of the barrel are dried in large crisscross stacks, anywhere from 16 to 18 months. Cask making then, or coopering as it's called, requires softening and forming the wood. So heat and water is applied, but the heat, actually the fire, is also very important for toasting the oak, which helps to enrich the natural flavors that are found in it. Now, as for the sherry, the Macallan's best known for their sherry cask whiskeys, obviously, and in fact they are the single largest purchaser of sherry cask butts for the purpose of maturing whiskey. So what's the deal with sherry? Well, sherry's a fortified wine. It's typically made in the coastal region of Andalusia, Spain. It's made from Palomino grapes, and then it goes through a four-step process. First, the grapes are pressed, then they are put into stainless steel vats for fermentation. Then they're fortified with a spirit, typically brandy. And lastly, they are aged in oak casks using the Solera system. The Solera method, you'll have to Google that. It's a way that they incorporate old and new wines to just keep it going and fermenting. Now, when it comes to the sherry that's used in Macallan, it's actually a sherry called Oloroso. Now, Oloroso is a little bit different. It's actually pressed twice, and then it's allowed to oxidize during the aging process. They remove a top covering of the sherry called the floor, which allows it to breathe a little bit more. Winds up as a darker and richer wine. So those toasted casks that I told you about, well, they're transported to any one of the nearby Oloroso sherry producers, and then they're filled with the sherry. They're matured for 18 to 48 months, and that gives the sherry plenty of time to breathe in this European oak, right? Now, amazingly, at any given time, the Macallan may have upwards of 50,000 sherry butt casks just sitting around maturing. So, while the casks are being prepared in Spain, actually, back up in Scotland in a town called Craigellachie in Moray, here they're creating spirit, which is going to fill the sherry casks and then sit undisturbed, maturing for 10 to 40 years, 50 years, maybe even 60 years in some cases. Macallan's water is sourced from deep wells. It's called boreholes, and they're right on the Macallan estate. Speaking of the estate, That little white house featured on every bottle of Macallan is the Easter Elky's house. It's considered the spiritual home of Macallan. Now, as for the barley that's used, it's sourced by a third party. It is malted and it is unpeated. It is made to Macallan's specifications, and the malt goes through a 4-wash cycle. It's then fermented slowly at low temperatures. Then it's split into 2 curiously small stills, and it allows for more direct contact with the copper piping, which creates a richer and fruitier spirit. So what's the result of all this hard work? Well, we're going to taste the 18 here, and I'm going to quickly tell you some of my notes on it. So first off, the nose, you're going to find vanilla, ginger, cinnamon, other dried fruits, raisins, and then the flavor is spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. That comes from the European oak with its high tannin content. Being slightly softer than American oak, the European oak interacts a little bit more with the wood and with the sherry. Now, it also releases notes of dried fruit, particularly orange. People also say that they notice chocolate, toffee, nuts, and for this reason, a lot of people say it's like a Christmas cake. Now, as for the mouthfeel, it is fairly viscous. It's got pretty good legs in the glass, and the finish is a lingering sherry and charred oak. I also get hot cinnamon and a slightly bitter finish. Anyways, I love it. This is the 18. If you can't afford the 18, I would definitely go for the 12. It's going to be very, very similar. Well, cheers. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will have more videos coming out soon, and God bless.